welcome back to the Tegiwa YouTube channel. Fresh off the back of our GR Yaris exhaust test, today we're doing an intake test. So we've got 7 different filters here today, ranging from open ones, closed ones. We've got Sprint, Venturi, HKS, MST, ITG, Airtec, GruppeM as well, and we've got a Civex all-wheel drive diff controller as well that we're going to use on the dyno, so we can put it in burnout mode and take some figures. What do you think is going to perform well today, Matt?
Well, on the road, I think that the enclosed ones are going to be good. We've got the Venturi and the Sprint, which we've already seen from other Yaris owners, giving really good gains. So keen to see what they do, but depends what you want, really, doesn't it? If you want the noise, then you can't beat an open filter, can you?
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting because people go for intake. Like, there's a few reasons, isn't there? Sound, the visual appeal, and also the performance. So there's 3 different factors there, and they start from £400 up to 1,300, I think. So there's a few different options there. So we're going to start unboxing some, do some data logs on the standard filter, and jump right in. So let's get on with it.
So the GR Yaris, as we all know, is a 4-wheel drive car, but they are notoriously hard to dyno in 4-wheel drive mode. So unfortunately, here we only have a 2-wheel drive dyno. So to make it a 2-wheel drive Yaris, we've got this Civex powertrain control unit here. This is a quick install into the boot, and it enables the rear diff to uncouple when we pull the handbrake. So we can just dyno it just with the front wheels on to make it super simple and super reliable. So we're going to chuck that on, get the standard car on the rollers now, and see what it's making. Right, this is my GR Yaris, and here is a standard airbox. So first of all, just a quick disclaimer, you might notice this box in the corner. It's a DT UK Stage 1 tuning box. It is going to be disconnected for all of these because I know that most people won't run something like this. So we do have this blanking connector that's just basically bypassing that box and letting it all run as it was standard. So just ran it up with this standard airbox in place. It's around 277 horsepower, which is great. So that means that it does have an ITG panel filter in here, and the GPF delete from the exhaust test, I kept that on the car. So 20 horsepower over claimed, which I'm really happy with. So some of the airboxes that we have today finish here, which is just at the end of this flexi pipe here, and some of them go all the way to the turbo elbow, which is going to make things a bit toasty for me, but that's okay. And so the standard airbox has a little feed here that just comes from this little vent in the grille. The standard one though, if you look underneath it, it's got holes in it. So some of the air path's a complicated thing, but some of the air, as far as I can see, that comes in here can just go straight out again. So a lot of the airboxes that we've got have a dedicated feed that fills this sort of void here, and hopefully should provide some good gains. So the MAF housing on this, we've got not too much of a lead up to it in a straight, but we'll pop the airbox lid off in a second and have a look. Afterwards we've got a nice straight pipe here. So what's important is that we get a similar sort of effect on the other airboxes for this to work as it was originally intended. It's okay to have it on a bend, it's okay to have it wherever you like, as long as it's sort of kept consistent, because you can calibrate your, the standard, manufacturers will calibrate their standard map to suit this in a particular orientation or direction. So we'll see. I think this is going to be the biggest effect, how we can make sure, how we can get the air smoothly past this and keep it repeatable. So right, so let's have a look at the under the airbox lid. So as mentioned, I do have an ITG panel filter in this. So as we can see, there's not an awful lot there before the before the MAF, so air's just going to be not the straightest, but again, Toyota have calibrated it to that, so we should be okay. And as I say, a lot when we were doing on the unboxing, especially the Venturi, they've done a lot of CFD, a lot of their own testing, so expecting that to work really well.
Okay, so next up is the HKS intake system, racing suction intake system, may I point out. This is an open filter, I believe, and this retails at £936, so pretty expensive for an open kit compared to some of the others. Let's open it. That was sick, you know.
Was it?
Yeah.
But what we can't show you is how it smells.
Like cat piss.
It doesn't smell great because it's carbon fibre. Quite carcinogenic, actually.
That one looks.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so we've just unboxed it, and first things first, that's snazzy. It is. I like that.
Yeah, this is an iconic HKS mushroom we've all seen on Japanese cars since forever, really. Some really nice carbon bits along with it as well.
Yeah, so the heat shield's carbon. Well, heat shield, yeah, that is a heat shield. That is a really nice carbon.
Yeah, really nice, really light.
We've got a sticker, Manx HKS. There's loads of hardware here as well, and I did think I was going to have to learn Japanese to read the instructions, but if you flick to the back, it's in English, so kudos.
Yeah, another fairly short MAF housing design. I think that's going to be fairly common on these, so again, see what effect that makes. And yeah, it should sound great, they always do.
Whoosh.
That is the HKS carbon racing suction kit fitted and dynoed. Fitting wise, it was okay. I mean, after we did the exhaust test, the HKS exhausts were the best, weren't they? We really enjoyed them. This is just sort of your, everyone knows the HKS mushroom. It fits good, there's no real big issues with it, but you can tell it's just a bit like the ITG. It's the same kit that's been used to, you know, it's been modified a bit. The heat shield is good. I'll be honest, I've cheated a little bit. There's lots of Meccano type brackets that come with it. I've only fitted one because we're in a bit of a rush, but it fits really nicely, and there's some extra little foam bits that would go on if it was staying on the car. But yeah, it did make a nice little gain in the mid-range, about 4,000 RPM, and not too much up top.
Yeah, so this has actually made the least power out of them all so far. So 282.1 horsepower, but it did make the most torque. So 280.8 foot-pounds of torque, and none of the others are in the 280s. And for me, this one does look mint.
Yeah, it looks proper, doesn't it?
Yeah, like it's lovely finish on the carbon.
Yeah, definitely.
Red's the fastest colour. Yeah, and it sounds, you know, if you want whooshy, if you want noise, this has got to be your go-to option.
By far the loudest.
Yeah. Obviously, there's only two open intakes on this test, and this is one of them. Obviously, it's quite high price, but yeah, it makes good noises.
Although the carbon's really nice and high quality, you can tell it doesn't box in the filter as well as the MST does.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that's where we noticed that, but you know, before the run, when it was just sat here heat soaking away, the first run was a bit down, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And when we ran it another time with fresh air through it, it was better.
Yeah.
So Yeah.
Overall, we like this one. It's a
Yeah.
good option. Okay, so that sums up our GR Yaris intake test. It's been a pretty successful day. We've tested all 7 intakes, lots of findings. Here's a graph, insert graph, of all the different figures that we found out on the dyno. What are your thoughts, Matt?
Well, it's great that they all made power. They all made at least 5 horsepower over standard.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. It's nice also that my favourite was the Sprint, but I do really like the Venturi as well. Like I say, they all made power really. I say even the HKS, but even these, which are sort of known to be a bit of a heat soak, really, with them being so open to the elements, that additional carbon heat shield really did help it. You know, and it sounds
stunning,
fantastic.
doesn't it?
Yeah,
Like
it looks great and sounds great.